Hello, viewers. I'm Mr. Dilip Kumar Pal. Stand before you with Types of Disability Part 3. Types of Disability is found in +3 5th semester Ethics and Values paper. So far as types of disability is concerned, in types of disability part 1 and part 2, I have discussed physical disability, sensor disability, somatosensor impairment, balance disorder, and intellectual disability. In types of disability part 3, I will start from mental health and emotional disability, development disability, then invisible disability. But before I discuss types of disability part 3, I want to inform my viewers that the name of my channel is @Dilip Kumar Pal 9375. Never forget. In this video, in this channel, videos from +3 first semester to 6th semester political honors, videos from +3 first semester to 5th semester ethics and values, videos from +3 first semester to 2nd semester political and general elective, and videos of +2 first year political science, +2 second year political science, and some videos of environmental studies of +3 first semester are found. Let us start. Types of disability part 3. Because in types of disability part 1 and part 2, I have discussed 5 types of disability like physical disability, sensor disability, somatosensor disability, balance disorder, and intellectual disability. And types of disability part 3, I will discuss in mental health and emotional disability. So mental health and emotional disability is a type of disability. So what is mental health and emotional disability? Emotional disability is related with mental health of a person. Emotional disability is related with the mental health of a person. Emotional disability means it is a condition that affects a person's ability to learn, relate with others, and behave normally, and that lasts for significant period of time. Emotional disability is a type of disability which a person will face problem in learning, making relations with others, and behave in a normal way. It continues for a long time. So emotional disability is a disability where it will affect a person's ability to learn, to make relations with others, and behave normally, and it would continue for a longer period. It can cause a feeling of depression, unhappiness, and fearness related to school and personal issues. A person suffering from emotional disability will suffer depression, unhappiness, and will have fearness relating to school and personal issues or personal problems. Whenever any personal problem will come, there will be a feeling of fearness. Whenever the name of school will be told, a feeling of fearness will be found. Individuals with Disabilities Education Act. Individuals with Disabilities Education Act, IDEA 2004, defines emotional disability as a condition where following conditions are found. In Individuals with Disabilities Education Act 2004 says in emotional disabilities, following will be the conditions. Number 1, makes it difficult to learn for reasons that are not related to intellectual, sensory, or health factors. The first symptom of emotional disability is that a person will face difficulty in learning. He will not have interest to learn. It will be very difficult for him to learn. It is not due to health factor or sensory problem or intellectual factor. A person, it will be very difficult for a person, it will be harder for a person to learn. It is not due to health factor or sensory factor or intellectual factor. A person will face difficulty in learning. It is a symptom. Number two, make it hard to build and maintain a relationship with peers and teachers. Another condition of emotional disability is that it will make hard to have a relationship with teachers and peers, means groups. Make it hard to build or maintain relationship with peers, means friend circle, and teachers. A person suffering from emotional disability, he will face problem in establishing relationship with teachers and his friends. He will not have interest to have relationship with teachers and friends. Number three, causes inappropriate behavior or feeling of normal, causes inappropriate behavior or feelings in normal situations. In normal situations, he will show abnormal behaviors, inappropriate behavior. Number four, lead to general mood of depression and unhappiness. It will lead to general mood of depression. It will create a feeling of depression and unhappiness. Fifth, causes a tendency to develop physical symptoms or fears related to school or personal problems. A person suffering from emotional disability, he will have fearness with his personal problems. Whenever a personal problem will come, he will be fearful, and he will be fearful towards school. So this is all about the mental health and emotional disability. Now discuss developmental disability. What is developmental disability? Developmental disabilities are a group of conditions due to a problem in physical, learning, language, and behavioral areas. Developmental disability is a disability in physical, in body, learning, language, and behavior areas. So developmental disability is a disability whenever there will be problem in body, there will be a problem in learning, and there will be a problem in behavior. So person suffering from developmental disability will suffer from learning. It will be very difficult on his part to learn. There will be problem in his body, and there will be problem in behavior. These conditions begin during the child's developmental period and may impact day-to-day functioning, and usually last throughout a person's lifetime. So, developmental disability, whenever a person will face problem in learning, in behavior, and in his body, it is known as the physical disability, and it will start from the childhood and continue for a longer time, day by day. It will start from childhood and it will continue for day by day. The most common developmental disabilities. There are various types of physical disabilities. There are various types of developmental disabilities. The most common developmental disability. Developmental disabilities are many types. Number one, motor disorder. Motor disorder. It means it is a neurological condition that cause abnormal movement such as involuntary or uncontrollable actions or lack of intended movement. There will be a motor disorder. Motor disorder means it causes abnormal movement such as involuntary or uncontrolled actions or lack of intended movement. In this motor disorder, it is a neurological problem where a person will face problem in it is a neurological problem where a person will have uncontrollable action. Actions he will take over which he has no control. He will show uncontrollable actions. Then lack of internal movement. In which way he will work, he will have no control. Then he will not work voluntarily. It is a motor movement. It is a neurological condition where a person will have no control over his actions. He cannot function in his own ways. Then he cannot work in a voluntary way. This is motor disorder. Number 2, learning difficulties. Another symptom of developmental disability is the learning disabilities. Learning difficulties. Learning difficulties such as dysclasia, Dyslexia. Learning difficulties such as dysclasia. It means learning difficulties in accurate word recognition, poor spelling, decoding difficulties. So, learning difficulties include dyslexia. It means learning difficulties in accurate word recognition. He cannot recognize an accurate word. He will have poor spelling, decoding abilities. He cannot utter from a written word. He cannot utter written word. He cannot give proper pronunciation. It is learning difficulties is dysclasia. Again, Tourette syndrome. It is another type of learning disability. Tourette syndrome. It means it is a condition where a person will have no control over his sound and he repeats his sound. Tourette syndrome means a person will have no control over his sound. He continuously utters sounds. He repeats the sound. Then dysgraphia. It is another type of learning problem. It is a disorder in writing ability, like problem in letter formation, rate of writing, letter spacing, grammar. Then dysgraphia. It is also a learning difficulties. It is difficulties in letter formation. He cannot form letter. Rate of writing. There will be problem in rate of writing. Letter spacing and grammar. He cannot place letter accurately, and there will be problem in grammar. Then iron syndrome, iron syndrome, it is a visual problem caused by the way in which the brain interprets the visual interpretation that is being sent through eyes. Then iron syndrome means the visual informations which the eye will send, the brain cannot interpret. It is a visual problem caused by the way in which the brain interprets the visual information that is being sent through eye. The information which the eye will send, the brain cannot interpret. Then dyscalculia. 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 It is also a learning problem. What it is? It is a problem relating to calculation. Then autism and Asperger syndrome. Another type of learning difficulty is autism and Asperger syndrome. It is difficulties in communication. He cannot communicate. He cannot understand what others will say. Then Down syndrome. It is a condition where a child is born with an extra chromosome 21. It is a condition where a child is born with an extra chromosome 21, which delays mental and physical development. He will suffer from Down syndrome. He will not have full mental development. Then fetal alcohol syndrome. It is impact of taking alcohol during pregnancy. Another condition, if they will be taking of alcohol during pregnancy, it will create learning difficulties. Then fragile X syndrome causes autism and intellectual disability. Then another condition is Fragile X syndrome causes autism and intellectual disability. 7. Pervasive development disorder, PDD, pervasive development disorder, causes difficulties in social communication and behavioral problem. Pervasive development disorder means it creates problem in social communication and behavioral problem. It will show behavioral problem. Then 8. Cerebral palsy affects a person's ability to move and maintain balance and posture. A person will have ability to move and mental balance. Cerebral palsy affects a person's ability to move and maintain balance and posture. Another condition of learning difficulties is a person will not have ability to move and will not have body balance. Intellectual disability, there is a limit of person's ability to learn at an expected level. Intellectual disability means a person cannot learn in an expected way. There is limit of a person's ability to learn at an expected level. A person cannot learn, there is a limitation in his learning. A person cannot learn in an expected way. 10. Attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, ADHD, attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. It is a brain disorder that affects attention, ability to sit still and self-control. It is ADHD, attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. It is a brain disorder that affects attention. A person will be unable to give attention. Ability to sit still. A person cannot sit comfortably and will not have self-control. This is what about developmental disability. Now we'll discuss invisible disability. Invisible disability means hidden disability or non-visible disability. There are some disabilities in a person who is not visible. It is invisible disability. They are chronic illness that affect the daily activities of individuals. There are some disability which is not visible, but it will affect the daily activities of a person. Many times some people have visual, auditory, sitting disability, etc., but they are not aware of it. Sometimes there are some disability which cannot be seen, like problem in eye, problem in ear, and problem in sitting. There are some problems there are some disability which is not visible, like problem in eye, problem in ear, and problem in sitting, but they are not aware of it. Even if there are some problem, the person is not aware about it. It is invisible problem. It is very difficult to identify those disabilities. It is very difficult to identify those disabilities because these disabilities are invisible. These disabilities may lead to losing of social contract. Making friends makes one lazy, inefficient, weak personality. By the disability, a person will be unable to have social contract. Making friends, he cannot make friends, it will make one lazy, inefficient, weak personality. It would be better to identify these disabilities early. It would be better to identify these disabilities earlier and take doctor's advice. So, in this types of disability part 3, I have discussed mental health and emotional disability, developmental disability, and invisible disability. In types of disability part 4, I will discuss some more disabilities, but before that I request my viewers that this is my channel number @DilipKumarPal975. Subscribe it so new videos will come to you. And aware of your friends, those who are not aware about this channel, by awareing some students, it will be a help to them. Remember, a little help to anybody, it is a symptom of a human being. Thank you. Have a good day.